Ship, we're here to talk about Solo and give spoilers.
Yes. Chewbacca apparently ate a dude 3 days before he met Han Solo.
At least one dude. We don't know how long he's been. He could have been down there for 6 months, and then they just don't feed him every 3 days to make him hungry enough to eat people. I like that they showed the droid ripped apart because it would have been too violent to show body parts. But then later in the movie,
I couldn't tell. It looked like there was like some armor or something.
Yeah, it was a droid. It was a droid. Sure.
Okay. I couldn't tell how far they were going with the Chewbacca is eating people.
I'm pretty sure it was a droid, but then later in the movie, they're in like some scuffle, and there's a scene where Chewbacca pulls off these guys' arms, and you're supposed to laugh at it because he ruined the uniform that Han was going to wear as a disguise.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it was.
And we of course all know the reference, like
yes,
in the old movies to him ripping off arms.
Great suggestion for the next Star Wars movie. Don't create the scenes based on dialogue, every line of dialogue from old movies.
They may not have been meant to be literal.
Right. You don't need to go back and make a list of everything that, like, for example, Han said, and say, how can we work this into the movie so we can make the audience's eyes rolls back into their head at least 6 times.
So, let's focus on Chewbacca for the first part of this, I guess.
Yes, please.
Because I am thoroughly confused at Chewbacca's character at this point. It seems like it's kind of like an anything goes type of character. Like they introduced him back in the prequels now, right? That's historically where he starts now in this canon.
Okay, I forget.
He was fighting with Yoda, right? He was fighting with Yoda on the Wookiee planet Kashyyyk.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that happened.
I'm not sure it was him. It could have been some other one.
There was a lot of Wookiees, but I'm pretty sure Chewbacca and Yoda met.
Sure. Okay, let's say that that happened.
So that's quite a while ago, and he's not an idiot. We assume at that point, unless he's been slowly like getting like he's to that age where he's just started like his thoughts have just been degenerating.
You mean he's becoming senile?
Right. Like there's no reason. There's not a consistent way in which they treat Chewbacca. Like he's either a complete moron or he knows how to fly the Millennium Falcon.
Right. He just instantly knew how to fly the Millennium Falcon. And when Han asked him how that was possible, the answer was, well, I'm 190 years old. I feel like if I was 190 years old, I wouldn't know how to fly an F-16. Is that a weird thing? I mean,
well, I mean, it's the weird answer there, but maybe we didn't. It's the Chewbacca talk. He may have said a lot of other things, and that's what Han replied to. Was the old part. He could have said, "Hey, I was flying ships with Yoda back in the day."
You don't know, right? Okay, fine. That's.
But still, like it's like okay, you have this character that's like he provides the humor. But then he's also really smart. But then he's also eating people.
Or ripping their arms off.
Right.
Like when you could just have knocked them out and then taken their uniform, but you rip their arms off.
Yeah. I just have a really hard time like understanding what Chewbacca is at the moment.
Right. Is he a beast or is he a human intelligence?
Right.
That's the question.
And the whole scene where him and Han meet, like it plays out a little bit like what we would have, or at least what I had in my head, but not exactly. Like, because we've at least kind of assumed that Han saved Chewbacca from something.
Yeah, I assume that he saved his life. I thought like he's somehow like in a typical movie way he saved somebody's life. Yeah.
Yeah, just it was almost a Martha moment here where so Han gets like thrown into the pit.
To be eaten by Chewbacca.
Chewbacca just comes out of the shadows, just ready to just for no reason other than he's going to eat this person.
He's hungry. He hasn't eaten for 3 days.
Right.
Fed for 3 days.
That just means he's just going to brutally attack this person.
Rip him apart and eat him.
Rip him apart. And he proceeds to do that for a good amount of time until Han decides, hey, maybe I should talk Wookiee to this Wookiee.
Right. Well, he was getting beaten, so it was hard to get the words out. Maybe he forgot. He got very nervous and forgot. He got stage fright.
But as soon as Chewbacca realizes he can speak Wookiee, then they're friends.
Right. Like you're saying, is he a beast or is he a humanoid of humanoid intelligence? Because if he was of humanoid intelligence, I don't know. Maybe he would have. You know what's not consistent is the whole Wookiee language thing. How come sometimes people can understand what Chewbacca's saying? Like regular people, like some of the crew, like Woody Harrelson's crew. But most of the time they can't. I didn't really, or maybe I just heard it wrong.
Maybe everybody took like a year of Wookiee.
Maybe.
In high school.
Maybe that's it. But I don't, God, the line about the nickname.
That was in the trailers.
Oh, God.
Where he says he needs a nickname because that's too long.
Like I said, don't reference every line.
What? We did not need to have it explained to us that Chewie was a nickname for Chewbacca.
Right. We know what nicknames are. Thank you. We know that when names are long, or any name, sometimes we give that person another name. Everybody knows this in the world, knows this. Doesn't matter what country you're from, you have nicknames.
But we talked about it a little bit earlier in this episode. Like, I really feel like they could have made a better movie without Han and Chewie and Lando in this.
Right, because we all have preconceived notions of how these characters act and behave outside of the movies that we've seen already. By the way, we never mentioned before in our non-spoiler talk about Lando and his portrayal by Donald Glover. I like the fact that he just did a imitation of Billy D. Williams. It was fun. I thought that was like the most
his job, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was the most enjoyable part of the movie for me. Like we said, it's pretty dark.
You can take the most liberties with that character, though, too. As far as like, you don't need to explain much other than how he's related to Han.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is like open to interpretation with it.
Well, we knew that he lost a Millennium Falcon to Han in a card game,
right?
So we knew that. So they had to. I'm glad that we got 2 card games. By the way,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we got to watch 2.
Yeah, the card game works fine in a movie like this, as a almost like James Bond type of card game.
Well, it helped that Donald Glover was really good as Lando, and he was in those card scenes and was a big part of them. While I liked his performance, I thought that they didn't give him like the good things to do in the movie. In fact, he's like kind of a jerk in the movie, and not only that, but he the whole scene with his robot.
Weird.
L3, like the robot, the robot dies and he's like grieving for the robot, but it's just we just met the robot, so we don't give a shit about the robot. But we're supposed
to like the robot.
We don't
right?
like the robot. Yeah, the robot's annoying and has a bad personality.
The robot. So she's a little bit C-3PO. Like there's definitely some C-3PO in there as far as like just the whiny kind of comedic aspect of her,
but pushy and aggressive,
right?
And jokey,
right? They're going for the feminist equal rights type of role with her, but they push it so far that it's for comedic value. Like you can't take her serious, right?
She's annoying.
Right, she's annoying.
So are they saying that those types of people are annoying in the real world? Forget about the movie. Like they're making a statement saying that these types of people are a joke? Who knows?
It comes off that way, I think.
A little bit. That's why I laughed. Like, literally, I laughed when
she's there for comedic value, but at the same time, they're trying to make her this serious character with, like, actual, like, political views, and kill her off at the same time as a love interest for Lando. There's a lot going on with this character.
And you'd meet her very late into the movie, and then she's pretty much dead before you know it.
And then she becomes part of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, that was weird. That was pretty weird. Meanwhile, the Millennium Falcon got the shit kicked out of her, like, pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's fine. I know. Like those parts.
I thought we were going to get to see her as a new ship and enjoy, like, that new car smell for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I saw, like, in the trailer, it had the dramatic thing with them walking down the hallways and they're all white and bright. Meanwhile, the movie is not bright like that at all. Is that scene even in the movie? You know what I'm talking about? Like, in the trailer? I don't think so, right?
I don't remember it.
The bright white. Yeah, I mean, because the movie's not bright.
Yeah, what else? It's a weird thing because other than it being a little bit boring for me, it is a competent, like, movie in the Star Wars universe that's not, like, dealing with the Jedi and everything until they bring in Darth Maul.
I couldn't even tell if that was Darth Maul because it looked like him, but he looked a little off. And then I'm like, as I'm wondering if is that Darth Maul? Dude pops his lightsaber during his Skype call with Khaleesi.
Kiara.
Yeah. I'm like, what? Did you really need to do that? And then I went, ooh, lightsaber, and I clapped. But nobody heard because it was loud. That was fun. Maybe I'll see a good movie sometime. I don't know. People like the movie, but to me,
some people like the movie. Some people aren't going to see the movie.
Yeah.
And
it's too much Star Wars.
We come off like we're hating it, but it's not like, it's not the worst thing that's existed in the Star Wars universe. That's for sure.
I will tell you that to me, like, I was far more annoyed by The Last Jedi than I was by Solo. And I'm not saying, like, one's a better movie than the other. I'm just saying that to me, like, you know, fucking with Chewie's origins don't really, like, it doesn't bother me that much. Sure. But when you have, like, Yoda's ghost acting like the Yoda from Empire who's giving the test to Yoda
to Luke,
to Luke for some reason, and calling down lightning, that just has me, like, flipping out a little bit while I'm watching it. And this one, at least, it was a bunch of eye rolls. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I like Last Jedi more than Solo.
Okay.
I certainly don't love Last Jedi, but I really like Kylo and Rey, their interactions.
Okay, sure. I think that was the strongest part for sure.
Yeah, I think that's what works in that movie. The other characters I don't really care about. You got Hans Dice in there as well.
Gotta have the dice. At least 4 shots of the dice in every movie from now on. Please. I need to know what's happening with where the dice were at every point in the Star Wars timeline. God, it's very important. I mean,
it is. I mean, they're the key to everything. I had a hard time in Solo just emotionally connecting with anything that was going on. And I think some of that's pre-built in. Some of it is like you have a romantic interest between Han and Kiara, and I just can't care about it because you know that Leia is down the road here.
That's not why I couldn't care about it. She didn't seem that interested the whole time, even the short time that they're together in the beginning. She's into him, but she doesn't seem like she's that into him.
Sure.
And
which is intentional, I believe. Like,
Sure, but then when they're reunited, she still doesn't seem that excited that they've been reunited.
She's not there because she's already made the choices.
Sure, but his whole existence is based upon being reunited with her.
Yeah,
and holy shit, it happens like very short,
like almost immediately in the movie. Like he goes off and joins the Empire for 3 years, which is has that been a thing with? I don't remember that in Star Wars that Han ever mentioned that he was part of the Empire.
Yeah, for 3 years at least, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then I guess soon after that, he winds up back with his long lost girlfriend, and he doesn't seem that excited either. Like he runs into her at a party, and it's like it's not like holy fucking shit. I just ran into the one thing that I was looking for in the whole galaxy. My whole purpose, everything I do is to get back to you and to rescue you, and you're here totally fine at this party. And I'm just like, oh hey, how you doing? We gonna make this shit happen or what? It was weird, very weird.
But all the twists at the end were good.
Sure.
I was genuinely interested in the last 20 minutes or so of the film.
And it took place outside so you could see what was happening, which is nice. It's always good.
Yeah, I think they could have used some reveals earlier, some twists earlier in this movie. Because at the end, it's just like, okay, here's the rebels. And like we saw them earlier in the movie, but we didn't really care about them. They were just like some other faction that was attacking this train.
Yeah, why do they have trains, by the way? What the fuck's the point of a train? Yeah, you have like this huge spaceships. I guess it's cheaper. I'm trying to save some money.
I guess. I'm
looking through my text that I sent you during the movie. Like I was pretty good. Like nobody was sitting near me. Nobody saw me. I had my brightness all the way down. Nobody saw, but I had to connect with somebody while I was watching it. So I wrote, let's see, hold on. Oh, I got to find the ones that I'm still watching. Oh, there's so many. L3, was I supposed to laugh? I'm still watching. I just have to tell you. Why did they eject the escape pod from the Millennium Falcon? It did nothing.
That was weird. There was like the space squid that was just living next to the black hole.
Right.
And
let's make him eat the
confusing
escape
what
pod.
That accomplished. Like we're supposed to think that the space squid was going to chase the escape pod, right? Like that's the logical strategic move. But it didn't really play out so much that way. It just seemed like or why would the squid chase the escape pod? I don't know.
He didn't even chase it. He just ate it and he kept following them, didn't he?
I think that caused him to get sucked into the black hole.
Oh, he slowed down to eat the escape pod?
I think.
The extra weight, maybe. Other messages that I sent you were I ate all the popcorn.
Uh-huh.
I LOL'd at the dice at the end.
I don't remember what was the dice at the end.
There's just a shot of the fucking dice, like he hands the dice to, I can't even remember who has the dice. I don't know. The dice is somewhere. The dice is in the Falcon. I don't know.
They're probably hanging up in the Falcon because
I don't know. It's just a big fucking shot of the dice, just like full screen shot of the dice. And I'm in this big ass theater basically by myself. It's the fucking dice at the end of the movie. To me, it was like when we saw Jurassic World and the T-Rex at the end is just like roaring in victory for no reason.
Yeah,
it's like dice. Oh, and I also wrote. That when they showed Han's gun, that I yelled out, "Yay, gun!"
Yeah, that was
"Ooh, gun! Ooh, gun!" is what I wrote. That's what I said.
There's definitely some like they toned it down as much as they could, but there's definitely some like, oh, this is where Woody Harrelson hands Han his gun, his blaster. And Oh, look, Woody Harrelson. I think it was Woody Harrelson. Was it, or was Han wearing it? Somebody was wearing Lando's guard costume from Return of the Jedi.
It was Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then in the bad guy's office, there's definitely some Boba Fett looking armor that they like silhouette for a pretty considerable part of a shot.
What wasn't a silhouette in that movie? I mean, pretty much every indoor shot is just silhouettes. Well, anything else?
Did we say how he got his name?
Oh my God. I had to tell my family how Han Solo got his name. If you want to know, he is escaping from some crime syndicate, I guess, and he's got to get to a checkpoint airport situation, and he gets through he gets to the customs officer who's like an Imperial agent officer, whatever, asks him Han's name. He's like, my name is Han. He's like, no, what's your other name? Who are your people?
Name. Yeah,
your family name. Who are your people? And Han says, I'm all alone. I don't have any people. And the Empire guard,
the recruiter.
No, he wasn't. Oh, he was a recruiter. Yeah. Right. He was trying to get recruited for the Imperial army to get out of there because he didn't have a passport or anything. So the guy scratches his chin for a minute and he goes, Han Solo. Pretty awesome. And he's just stuck with it.
Right. He just stuck with it. Yep.
Well, again, didn't need to know where his name came from at all. Like, didn't care.
Didn't get to know where his pants came from.
I mean, do we need to find out where Luke Skywalker's name came from? Are we going to see like his relatives fly? Oh, I guess Leia. Leia really is a Skywalker.
Well, yeah, and Anakin is as well, and Shmi.
Shmi.
Oh,
Shmi. Yeah.
Anakin's mom, Shmi.
Yep. She was great. She really added a lot to that movie. Anything else for Solo?
They left so much on the table for a sequel, obviously.
Yep.
I mean,
Boba Fett, Darth Maul,
Jabba,
Khaleesi. Khaleesi gonna be like a Sith in training.
Kiara? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Khaleesi, from Game of Thrones.
I don't know that. Okay. I don't watch Game of Thrones, so
she's the Khaleesi.
Oh, okay.
She's like the queen.
Well, the Darth Maul, he's not going to be in the next Solo movie, right?
Yeah.
You think?
He's got a wheelchair with rockets on it.
he's got robot legs. Come on.
Think Professor X, but rockets.
Well, he's from the cartoon.
Oh, the cartoon. He's got robot legs.
Yeah. He's
okay.
He's been in Star Wars Rebels or Clone Wars or one of those things. He's been around with robot legs for a while now.
Oh, he should have Heelys, I think. That's a good way to get around.
Yeah. But I mean, so you think he's going to be in Solo too?
Why not? They put him in the last video game.
They did.
Nobody was looking for him there.
He's going to be in another movie. There's no doubt about that. I just don't know if it's Solo 2. Who? I'm sure in the cartoons, Darth Maul gets killed by somebody. But if you had to kill off Darth Maul, who would do it?
In the cartoon?
No, in the movies.
Maybe he doesn't need to die this time. It'd be cool if they cut him in half again, and now he's got like a robot upper body. Or there's two of them. There's a lot of different ways you can go.
What? Yeah.
He's a really robust character.
I think he's either got to fight Obi-Wan in the Obi-Wan movie or Darth Vader in some movie.
It would be, Obi-Wan would like to fight him since he killed his mentor.
Well, Obi-Wan killed him
the first time.
The first time.
Well, he didn't.
No.
And now he could have some cool lines when he kills him the second time. I think that's probably going to happen. They're going to make that movie.
I think they could make
I'm going to see it on a Tuesday.
The Darth Vader versus Darth Maul movie.
Darth Vader versus Darth Maul?
Yeah.
No. I don't think that's going to happen. Can they threaten each other over Skype with lightsabers? And can Darth Vader have like really good puns? Much better puns than Rogue One. Like
Darth Vader can force choke over Skype, right?
Yeah, no need to open a lightsaber.
Right.
Well, we're giving a lot of good ideas.
There's just so many to have. But everybody go see Solo if you haven't. I guess if you listen to this, I would hope that you would see it or plan on not seeing it. But.
Yeah, it was. I only saw it so I could talk about it on the show. I didn't. Otherwise,
I saw it out of a curiosity.
And I had a $6 off coupon that was expiring on June 3rd, so that was another good reason. All right, well, that's it. We'll see you next week. For real.
Brett's done. Again.
In the world of the Transformers, nothing is what it seems. Meet the Constructicons, 6 evil robots that transform into one mechanical giant.
Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, robots in disguise.
It's Devastator, 6 Constructicons and 1.
Each sold separately.
Devastator's attacking.
Meets the eye.
The Transformers sold separately from Hasbro.